set up right over here. So I spent a few minutes recording earlier, walking around, pacing, but I feel like it would be a little bit better if I just sat down and looked into the camera for this. So we're back to vlogging. We are in meet prep right now for a very big meet. It's been quite a while, and I haven't really uploaded anything on YouTube, on my other channel, or on social media, which as of now I've deactivated it, taking a break from all that to really kind of clear the noise and distractions. Social media is toxic, that's not the point. Today is February 17th, 2026. It is 45 past midnight. I got here about 15 minutes ago or so. Actually, it's probably like almost 1 a.m. Typical. A little bit later than I wanted to, but we're here anyway. It is block 3, week 3, day 1 of my training. We have a 3x6 on squat. I believe we have a 4 or 5x6 on bench press after that. And then a couple sets of Bulgarian split squats and some tricep push downs. I'm gonna throw in some cable crunches as some direct ab work using the lat pull down machine over there, which is just out of sight. Yeah, not too much squat volume or squat intensity today. Kind of a repeat of last week, except I guess just go faster. But yeah, we are, I think, 14 weeks out, if I'm not mistaken. No, we're like, I think we're 13, just under 13 weeks out now from our next meet, which is IPF Worlds. IPF Worlds in Dubai, the United Emirates, this coming June. I don't know the exact date. They haven't posted any of that on the IPF website. It's a little late to my understanding, so I'm curious what's going on with that, but I am competing there along with a few other members of my gym. We are representing Puerto Rico on the international stage. I will be there as the resident 83 kilo lifter or 183 pound lifter. We do have, I believe, a 66 kilo lifter, one for the 93s and one for the 105s. I may be missing someone, I'm so sorry if I am. But yeah, it's quite something. That's basically the biggest powerlifting platform that I've ever could have envisioned myself on, in a time where I absolutely did not envision myself or could have ever thought that I was going to be on that stage. You know, if you told me this about a year ago, I would be stunned and I would call you a liar probably. I'd be like, ha, funny joke, man. But nonetheless, here we are. It's something that I'm humbled and very appreciative of. It wouldn't feel quite the same if I was saying that I was going to represent the United States, which would be an accomplishment in and of itself because the field of depth is insane. But I am Puerto Rican, yo soy boricua, para que tú lo sepas. And we competed in their national championships last November. I clearly won first place for my division and weight class. I set the bench press record there with 165 kilos or 363 pounds, which was okay for me. You know, I intended to do a lot more, but I ran into a little bit of technical issues. We'll discuss that another time, but it's humbling, it's an honor, it's sobering in a way, like, wow, you know, I have this opportunity that very few people can ever really get to say they do, especially if they're partaking in this sport, hobby, whatever you want to call it. So I would be remiss if I didn't take this as, you know, as seriously as I possibly could I feel like I've gotten by on some previous training and meets with not really putting my best foot forward, not really dialing in everything to the max. So I've been locked in as much as I can, trying to find new ways to be more locked in, more disciplined, diligent. Definitely not going to get a full 8 hours of sleep tonight, but I think one night won't kill me. And yeah, it's a privilege also to represent your home country. I've never had a lot of national pride in that way. I should, for various reasons I haven't, but I think, you know, it's nice to put my tiny little home island on the map like that in another sport, because I don't think we've never really sent anyone to IPF Worlds. So I'm gonna give it my best. I'll see how strong we can get within these next 12 weeks and what we can do on the platform. My body weight is around, it's hovering between 188 and 190 most of these days and slowly going down. Lightest I've been in about 2 years at this point. Last March I was 212 pounds at my heaviest. Feeling lean, feeling small. My shirt doesn't fill out everything, but hey, you know, it's still got some arms there. But yeah, let's get to training. I'll probably have some more to say after this, but I won't waste too much time in phone storage on yapping. Let's get to it. So just wrapped up the main work, my squats and bench volume. Chef's kiss. Fastest I've gone through a squat session in a hot minute, regardless of the weight, surprisingly. The previous blocks, it was taking me very easily over an hour, maybe an hour and 20 at some days to get through the squat volume that I was being programmed. With the power of hindsight, I do believe that we started a little bit too intense. I didn't mention this earlier. The original goal was to do Powerlifting American Nationals as a guest lifter to kind of tune up and see how training has been progressing, and also try to elevate the registered total that I would have been going into Worlds with, because my training total is 682.5 kilos. I believe that's, I want to say that's around 1,500 pounds. I can't do conversions from kilos to math right now off the bat. I'll check later. I'll add it in somewhere. But we did start a little bit more aggressively than usual because of that. And I think coming off of a meet in November, like probably, I think it was 3 weeks after my meet that I started training. I'm under the strength guys right now. I should have probably alluded to that earlier. I started being coached by the strength guys. I was self-coached before. I was following their free programs on their app, the Shift the Curve app. I gave it a little bit of leeway for my own life reasons and things that I've done for my own training before. It's a template. It was $30 a month, so no big deal, you know. But I got good results out of that. It was a lot of volume, a lot of intensity for a sustained period of time. The general meta of powerlifting has been lately to, have super submaximal loads on the week 1 or the week 0, I guess you want to call it, and then 4 or 5 week blocks leading into a full send, basically. Whereas the intensity and the volume was fairly well sustained throughout the course of the entire block. There was no full send day, if you want to call it that. Even a deload, it was like shaving the volume in half and then still keeping the intensity high. And then the following week after that, back to the same volume. So coming off of that and coming off of a meet and doing a few like transitional weeks before training, I think we started a little bit too heavy on the intensity side. So I saw a regression in my squat. Both the technique, it was causing me a lot of pain too. Technique, strength, and just overall training satisfaction was pretty low for the first 2 blocks, basically. It started off high, but then by the second block, everything just went downhill, despite keeping my recovery in check. So this block has been so far a great success. We shifted up my squat frequency from 2 times a week to 3 times a week, which I think has always been nice for me. My third day is a very light pause squat day, which is, it's good. It's a good bridge in between. Benching still 4 days a week, 1 pretty big intensity day, then another slightly less intensity day, which is today, and 2 variations. One is a long pause, the other is Larson bench. And for deadlift, tomorrow will be the intensity day. Top single, 220 kilos, nothing crazy, and then a 4x4 with 202, which is I think 246 pounds. But right now, I wrapped up my squats and bench within about 45 minutes, I want to say, which is pretty fast. I like that. I feel like I got good work in an ample amount of time, so I'm satisfied there. Now I'm moving on to the bane of my existence, which is Bulgarian split squats with a rear foot elevated on the bench padding. And then after that, we'll do some tricep press downs and ab work, and then we're done. Something with my Bulgarians is that I'm gonna do them without heels. I do have my squat shoes with me, but considering I'm doing flats for low bar and I'm training in the same flats for all 3 lifts, I might as well keep it consistent. I don't think it's gonna create too much of a hassle. And I think if there's a minuscule amount of carryover with that kind of specificity, like the small, minute details, then why not, you know? Make every small 1% counts at this point. So we're gonna get that underway. I'm gonna make sure that my, it's not as hingy as it used to be. I hate doing them with dumbbells. I don't wanna say hate, it's very difficult to do them in dumbbells with 2 hands. I could do 1 hand with like 75 or 80 pounds probably without an issue, but split that into 2 hands, it's a nightmare. But I do want to get stronger. I do think getting stronger in this movement will yield good results with direct squat training. I think it already is. So let's get to it. Jesus Christ. Okay, we're done. It's just a little bit past 2 a.m. now. Total training time's probably been about an hour 30, an hour and 45, which is a great success. My hair looks a little bit better than when I came in. Need to figure out how to really take care of that. Anyway, pretty good training day. Tomorrow will be our deadlift intensity day. My schedule originally was Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. Now I'm probably more consistent with a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday lineup, so I'm gonna be sticking with that for a bit. I do feel like both my deadlift and squat intensity days are a little bit stronger there with that setup. It's similar to what I've done in the past, except the actual days that I train on are slightly different, but spacing wise, it's pretty good. I've done it before with good success. Anyway, yeah, not much really more to say. I'm pretty new to vlogging my training like this. Normally I just record it for myself or for the gram, or just, you know, keep it away in the archives, but I feel I would be remiss if I didn't share my own perspective of this kind of journey. You know, for a very long time, my goal has always been just to make it to, you know, Raw Nationals, and you know, for one reason or another, it seems to have either literally or figuratively slipped out of my grasp. I remember a couple years ago, I would have had it on my final pull, and I was already losing it on grip, but it just wouldn't budge too much off the floor. And you know, the next day, the qualifying total bumped up another 60 kilos, so it didn't matter. But it's always felt like a moving goalpost that I've yet to hit, and that's kind of ebbed and flowed my training motivation for a while. But things are different now. I'm in a position I didn't expect myself to be in. I didn't think I would ever get to be in. And I'm very, you know, it's a lot of mixed feelings about it, a lot of, you know, excitement, you know, some nerves, because it's the farthest I've been from home, especially for a meet. A little bit of imposter syndrome, but I mean, I'm there to do my best. I'm there to represent. I'm there to show what I'm capable of. I think I owe it to myself to really lock in and prove that I do deserve to be up there. Maybe I don't have to podium. I don't have to place top 10 or top 20, but you know, show that I wasn't there by some kind of fluke or by the grace of some higher power or whatever. You know, I think the stars lined up and I'm there because I earned it. And if it goes well enough, you know, I'll come back there again next year and do a little better. Have a few more eyes on me, maybe. I'm not used to any fame or notoriety or popularity, so I don't know how I feel about that. But good success. If you like this yap session of mine accompanied with some training footage, feel free to like and subscribe. I'm gonna keep this channel for lifting only, and my other one, I'll post other content there, you know what I mean. If you have any questions, any comments, anything you want to see, just drop it down here. Don't expect me to edit these videos too crazily. For one, I don't have those kinds of video editing skills or desires at the moment. Maybe I will, add my little flair to it, but this is gonna be raw, nothing overly done. I'll try to upload as many training days and thoughts as I can. Some days it'll be a little bit easier than others, especially how busy the gym is. I feel some kind of way about bringing a camera with a lot of people around and talking to it, but yeah, hope you enjoy. Like and subscribe. Feel free to comment whatever you want. If you like this video and you want to see more, comment silver spoon. There we go. Comment silver spoon. All right, peace.